Good afternoon. We're in the committee of the whole meeting of Tuesday, June 27th, Hockey 12 of Feast of Lethbridge, Class Squamish, Owayamayo. Welcome to the traditional territory of the Squamish Nation. There's an agenda in front of the committee. Looking for a motion to adopt. Moved by Councillor Blackman-Wolf, seconded by Councillor Pryor. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We have one item of business, and that is Skyline Place parking restrictions. Mr. Wickham.
Thank you. My name is Chris Wickham. I'm the Director of Engineering, and I'm here with Josiane Roy, which I think you folks have met once before, a while back. She's our relatively new engineering technician. And
how long do we stay relatively new? Like 6 months, 10 months, a
well,
year?
okay, you're right. She's about the 6 month mark. So, we are here to talk about parking in Skyline Place, which has been a contentious issue for at least as long as my time here, which is about a year, predates my time by a little bit. Our former technician, Sam, had spent a great deal of time up on Skyline Place. This diagram that you see in front of us here, and sorry, I should say Skyline Place, most people probably know, is just off the hairpin on Skyline Drive. So it's a short, relatively flat cul-de-sac. It's on the side of a hill, which you can't see very well from the photograph here. It's very narrow and has a very small cul-de-sac at the end of it. The folks there would like to be able to park as many cars on the street as possible, of course. Sam spent some time last summer doing a lot of measurements and coming up with a strategy to allow adequate access for fire, carnies, snowplows, and other maintenance vehicles. The residents weren't very happy with his plan. Spent a lot more time up there, and residents coming in here. Eventually we decided that we had done the best that we could do. After Sam left and Josiane came, we had Marc-Andre Tart, who wrote the letter that we're responding to here today, had come in to talk about the parking again, and Josiane has a lot of experience in parking in District North Vancouver, and I asked her just to have a quick look and a conversation with the fire department and make sure that she agreed with Sam's assessment. She did that, and she did agree with Sam's assessment. Marc-Andre wrote a letter recently to council disputing our findings, and so this really is just a quick public response to that letter. We were asked to come back to council. I invited Marc-Andre by email. I believe he's out of the country though, so perhaps he's watching. Hopefully he is. I think that really we're very confident that in this very narrow road, the parking restrictions need to be what they are. He had asked that the concrete barrier along here on the one side that protects traffic from inadvertently ending up down in this driveway. He'd asked that barrier be removed in order to widen the road slightly and allow more parking. We feel that wouldn't be a good idea. He did mention a drainage issue as well. We agree with that, and we'll be fixing that in the 2018 capital budget. There's a small drainage issue. But we believe that the parking needs to stay where it is.
Quick question, the concrete barrier that's on the east side of that driveway, is that our infrastructure, or did the landowner put that in?
I believe.
Because it's in our right of way.
Yeah, it's in our right of way. I believe we ended up placing that there. I'm not positive.
Yeah. And it looks like there's some other encroachment from that property in our right of ways. What is aesthetic, are those concrete barriers as well?
Retaining.
What's that?
So a substantial retaining wall.
To, for the.
No, but at the south end of 40122.
In
on
here?
the west side of the driveway,
I'm not sure. Do you know what
unless
that is?
OGIS
Well,
is just
yeah,
a
so
little
a lot of times that's off. The little shed at the bottom.
like there's-
Yeah, I think the shed may be inside the line. I'm not sure if that's a fence line that we're looking at there, or if that's more retaining structure for, I'm not sure.
But a lot
But
of
yes,
times
that
it's-
was, that structure and the way the driveway was built was probably not the way that we would prefer it to be done if we were looking at it today. The cul-de-sac itself is also much narrower than we would allow today. It is a very tricky place to build. It's on a steep hill.
Never.
No, I'm just saying it's steep,
Oh,
Yeah.
really steep in there.
Exactly.
okay. Sorry, didn't go, keep going.
I'm not sure that I have a lot more to say. I believe we have spent many hours on this file in engineering. I know that both bylaw and fire have as well. And I believe that we've done as much as we can. Parking on the road, it is a public road, and we try to accommodate parking wherever it's possible and practical and safe. Because that's a significant benefit to residents to have parking on the road. In this case, there's parking just off frame on one side of the road here. There's parking along that side of the road, and that's the only area that we feel that it is safe to place parking.
Well, I mean, after I read the report and after listening to this a couple of times in the last few years, I don't think there's anything else we can do. It kind of speaks for itself. I know there's going to be some cranky people around there because they've got no place to park. But, you have to turn the fire truck. That's a law.
We have actually had the fire truck in there. They did a practice at the end of the cul-de-sac. Did the old Austin Powers 30-point turn.
Yeah.
I can't even turn my Mazda CX-5 around in that cul-de-sac that there's a car parked in there. I've been in there about half a dozen times myself.
And the cul-de-sac itself, there's no, I mean, our right-of-way seems big enough there, so there's just no room to make that bigger?
There's always, everything's possible given enough time and cash, but it would require a significant retaining structure. And at the end, we wouldn't get any more parking out of it. We would still, we would be able to expand it by a few meters, but we still wouldn't have room to park it there.
Certainly the lots on the south side seem big enough to accommodate quite a bit of on-site parking, or west side. Any other questions for Kel? Do you have a recommended motion
Uh,
to receive?
Only to receive the update.
Motion moved by Councillor Spencer, seconded by Councillor Pryor. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, that looks like our retaining wall, just looking at it on Google Maps.
Well, a lot of times those are quite off, those lines. You know, if you look at subdivisions,
It's another retaining wall and no posts on that.
It's no posts.
yeah, but I mean, if you look at a lot of the subdivisions, the lines that are on our survey go right through carports. You know that the house was built in the right spot, and it's going through the carport on the property. That is how it is on my house.
Okay, so that's the end of this agenda.
Thank you.
Motion adjourned. Moved by Councillor Kent, seconded by Councillor Pryor. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.